Hi guys, welcome back to Sew with Abby channel. My name is Abigail. On this channel I create fashion and style related videos. If you are new on this channel, thanks for stopping by, and if you are a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. This video is about drafting a corset with keyhole. If this is what you are interested in, then keep watching. Let's get started. These are the materials I'll be making use of, and the first thing I'll do is to rule a straight line, which I'll tag the shoulder line, and then I'll measure the neckline 3 inches for width and 3 inches for depth. Then I'll go ahead to connect the dots. After that, I'll measure my shoulder measurement. Then I'll come down by ½ inch to create a slope. Then I'll go ahead to measure my armhole using my bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1½ inches. Then I'll rule a straight line. Then I'll rule a horizontal line, which I'll tag the chest line. Then I'll go ahead to measure my vertical measurement, my bust point, then my under bust, and the top length. So I'll just go ahead and label this line. This is the bust points, under bust, then the top length. The next thing I'll do is to shape out the armhole. So I'll just measure my bust divided by 4. Then I'll measure the armhole line and divide it into 2. Then I'll go in by ½ inch. So I'll just connect these dots together. The next thing to do is to measure the dart. So I'll just come to my under bust line and measure my bust point divided by 2. I'll measure the same at the top length line, and then I'll rule a straight line. Then I'll measure ½ inch on both sides. If you are working on a bigger bust, then I advise you measure 1 inches on both sides, making 2 inches. Now just go ahead and measure my round measurement. My bust is already measured, so I'll just add 1½ inch seam allowance. Then I'll measure my under bust measurement, then I'll add 1½ seam allowance as well. So at the top length here, I'll be using my hip measurement simply because the length I'm using is a little bit longer than my waist length, so that was why I used my hip measurement. So I'll now connect the dots together. Then I'll extend the armhole. So the next thing I'll do is to come to the chest line. Then I'll measure ½ inch. I'll do the same at the under bust line as well. I'll connect the dots, and then I'll place my cup like this, making sure it's touching the ½ inch there, and then it's sitting properly on the under bust line. So I'll just go ahead and trace out the curve. I'll do this gently so I'll get the curve. Okay, now I'm done doing that, and then I'll just extend the line here to the side, and the corset is ready. You can see that it is so simple. Alright, now that I'm done, I'll measure my yoke. I'll come down by 2 inches at the neckline, and then I'll connect the dots here. I'll connect it to the corset side there. So I'll just do it like that. Then I'll blend the lines. I'm done. I'll just go ahead and cut it. And when cutting, guys, you have to be careful so that not go and cut the wrong line. Okay, let's say I want to make a strapless corset top. Now I have it already, you can see it, so it's ready like that. I'll just go ahead to cut out the yoke. So I'll cut the yoke line, then the armhole, the shoulder line, and then the neckline. So I'll come to the down part of the yoke here, and then I'll cut this away because I want to avoid excess. Or you can measure ½ inch and cut it off. Okay, the corset top is ready. Then I'll just place my yoke. You can see that it turned out beautiful. Now this is the back, and the first thing I'll do is to measure out 1 inch for zipper allowance. Then I'll place the front piece on it, then trace out the side like this. The next thing I'll do is to come to the zipper side and measure down 2 inches. Then I'll connect it to the other line there. Then I'll measure the dart using my nipple to nipple measurements, divided by 2. I'll do the same at the upper part there. Then I'll connect the dots. Afterwards, I'll measure ½ inch on both sides. Then I'll connect it. In case you don't want to make use of a zipper, you don't need to leave any zipper allowance. I just showed it for the purpose of those who would like to use a zipper. I'll be cutting the zipper allowance off now, because when I represent this on my fabric, I don't want to use a zipper as well. I want to use lace up. Thanks for watching. In my next video, I'll be showing how to make a beautiful corset top with this same pattern but without the yoke. Consider subscribing if you haven't, and turn on the notifications so that when I drop the new video, you will be notified. If you find this tutorial helpful, please like and share.